Hello and welcome to this product domain session as part of buildingSMART International Summit, Marrakesh 2024. Thanks for joining. My name is Yushen. I will be your moderator today. Today's session is titled Unboxing the Product Domain, Anticipating the Trends and Regulations in Product Data Management. The speakers for this session are Pete Volkong, CEO and founder at Beam Project, Hans-Willy Schmidt, Technical Project Manager and Lignan Association of the Swiss Forest and Timber Economy. Eustace Lauzikas, Digital Product Center Lead at Georg Fischer. This session is scheduled to last 90 minutes, including time for questions at the end. The session is being recorded and will be made available in the replay section of the event as soon as possible. Before I hand over to the speakers, I would like to remind you this is a hybrid event. For online attendees, your microphone will remain muted for the duration of this session. If you wish to make a comment or ask a question, please use the chat box in the control panel. For the attendees here in the room, please keep background noise to a minimum. And if you wish to make a comment or ask a question, please raise your hand and use a microphone. I would also like you to bring your attention that buildingSMART is committed to ensure that participation in the development of standards is unrestricted, and the process of their adoption is transparent, and the standards that are developed do not favor any particular provider and are open, non-binding, and accessible to all. Please take note of our antitrust code of conduct. Now I would like to hand over to Pete.
Thank you, Sheng. Hello, everyone. We're glad that you joined the product domain session. This is our first input on this conference. So welcome Marrakesh and welcome online. Okay. So we would like to make a overview of what we are doing here. We will be talking about our project, about OpenBIM, and about lifecycle assessment management. And we would like to, if possible, involve you as much as possible. So if you have any anything to add to the topics, we would really be glad if you could join the discussion. So, okay. So we call this session Unboxing Product Domain because we have 10 members in the steering committee, and we have regular meetings every 2 months, I would say, in person, and we discuss lots of topics. So we made this overview, what we are talking about, and what the product domain is actually about for us. Okay. Yeah, you can skip that, I suppose, or yeah. Okay. So pictures are missing. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is an overview of what we call a matching process, and it describes pretty much all of that we talk about in the product domain. So we marked some points here, so I will describe it to you. We are talking about products, right? So first, the product is created, and there is a lot of manufacturers that don't pay attention to digitalization. So they still think they have a lot of time. They were waiting for something to happen. Now the digital product passports came, and they think they have a lot of time. So what we did is that we wrote guidelines for manufacturers white paper, or it's called industry report now, where we describe what it actually takes to start with digitalization, and we describe lots of topics there. The document is now 99% ready. It hasn't been like distributed officially yet, but there has been, we talked about it on the last summit. There has been a couple of people who are interested in gave us some feedback. So we included that feedback. Now we have some more feedback from the buildingSMART management, so we will also add this, and then we will be releasing it to the people. So if there is anyone who would like to take a look at it, it could be manufacturer, it could be anyone interested in product management, we will be very happy if you contact us, and we will share the document with you. So it's not nothing secret. It just doesn't have the final graphics yet, but the content is already there, and it makes sense. So the aim of this document is to encourage manufacturer to start with digitalization in some way. So they should basically be creating their own data product database, be able to share the data, and not wait for someone to come and ask for it, because it's not done overnight. It's a complex process. The bigger the company, the more complex it is, and the more time it takes. So this is really the main message. So the manufacturers won't be afraid to start, and all these documents will be in the end digitalized in a way that it will be just properties in a database that will be part of the digital product passport. Then this could be used when you have the other side, when there is someone who would like to build something, a real project. Then through mapping through the dictionary, probably you'll be able to, as a specifier, find the right product and say, okay, this is something I would like to use. It's very simple to think about this when you have a final product, like a basin, for example, or faucet. But if there's something that you have to configure and set the dimensions, like windows, or set a different like final color, that's not, it's not that not that easy. But we are talking still about properties, like also digital product passports are talking about properties. But there is, if you select the product, then you have to, as a manufacturer, he has to deliver geometry. And this is something, some other topic that we included in, it was called previously IFC for products. Now we renamed it. The project is called Open BIM for products. And there has been lots of activities around different commissions. For example, yeah, the point is that there are lots of standards for the properties, and maybe there will be a way how to transfer the product data with the geometry through IFC. Maybe it will be a derivation of IFC. Maybe it will be derivation of IDS. Maybe eTIM has a project for modeling classes, so they are creating like descriptions of geometry also. Maybe it will be level of information need XML. So there's lots of options that have the potential to achieve this, and we don't know yet which one it will be. So the project aim at the moment is to find out the right way and discuss everything with the right people, especially here in the buildingSMART with the technical guys, and just find what we can do or they can do to move this forward, because there is a lot of pressure from manufacturers who don't want to create geometry for each BIM software on the market. If they create IFC, it's not parametric, and so on, so it's not enough. So it's a huge topic for us. In the end, there is the information lifecycle management. That's the large, I hope you see it, that's the large box around everything. So we are trying to map the whole life cycle to have the overview where the data goes and so on. So this is just introduction of what we are actually doing and what we are talking about in product domain. And then we have all these topics like described or explained in detail. So I would like to hand over. Yeah, Hans, do you want to add something?
Yeah, thank you very much. If I can add a comment, I think it's a very important overview here, also to show a bit the different perspectives when it's about product information. Also in the product domain, we have different representatives. Some people are more from the right side, which are focusing on requirements for specifications. Me myself, I'm more from the product side, from the performance. We want to describe the performance of a product, for example, wood. We want to describe the species. We want to describe from where is the wood coming from, what quality is it, and what strength class is it. And it took also time, to be honest, in the domain to get a common picture, and that helped us a bit to understand that we could have different perspectives. But it's a dialogue between performance and requirements, which we have to bring together. So the requirement at the beginning can be very abstract and general, and from step by step, we can go down and find a product or a system which could be suitable, and finally configure it to the final product, which is actually then made to order. Or we have also representatives who have more a holistic picture, who want to actually solve all together. And that was, the project Peter mentioned before. And now with the initiative of the EU Commission to change the construction product regulation and input more data, it became more how to say, more dynamic, the discussion about it. And we know that it will be a solution somewhere where we will have product information in a structured way, which help us so much in the planning to access information over the whole life cycle. So this is really a game changer in planning to improve the quality of buildings in the future. So with that, I would like to hand over to Justas.
Guys, can you hear me? Just quick test.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Fantastic. So, good morning, Morocco. Hope you have a great time over there. So my name is Justas Lozicas. I represent George Fisher. George Fisher is a manufacturer based in Switzerland. Our corporation consists of 4 divisions: piping systems, building flow solutions, machining solutions, casting solutions. I work for GF Piping Systems, where we provide a range of flow solutions tailored to different industry segments. I'm co-authoring Process Map and Information Lifecycle Management project. So Michel Boren is the key initiator for Process Map and Information Lifecycle Management, and Robert Heinze is a main contact for OpenBIM for products. Unfortunately, they could not join us today. Next slide, please. So, over the last few months, we have made some changes to several projects within Product Domain Steering Committee. The existing project, RFC for products, will be updated and renamed to OpenBIM for products due to some internal controversies. Of course, for more information, what I would recommend to do is to contact Robert Heinze, as he leads this project. We will combine the process map and information lifecycle management with OpenBIM for products into a single initiative to enhance our focus and market relevance. The process map and information lifecycle management are primarily actually driven by business considerations, while OpenBIM for products focuses on technical aspects. And collectively, the process map and information lifecycle management and OpenBIM for products will address what, where, and when. What, where, when, and how, additionally, data flows. So spanning from pre-design to reuse and demolition. Of course, it goes without saying that process map and information life cycle management is more focused on questions what, where, and when. Meanwhile, Open BIM for products focus on how data flows. Next slide, please. So let's talk about what we observed. Speaking about process map and information lifecycle management, the buildingSMART community traditional focus on design and build phases, emphasizing a digital twin as a 3D geometry model with attached semantic information, often resulting in as-built 3D model primarily for documentation purposes. In reference to Open BIM for products, all existing defined data requirements for workflows in BIM are currently based on structural projects or buildings. And unfortunately, there are no workflows or exchanges established for products. Now, considering a solution for process map and information lifecycle management, the product domain proposes a comprehensive process map to analyze information life cycles within specific processes and use cases. And what we mean by that is very simple. It means that apparently we don't have only one process for different, let's say, segments. You imagine in buildingSMART International, we don't have only multi-story buildings. We also have marine industry. What about another segment such as industrial facilities and so forth? So apparently, it's much more than one workflow behind, and use case, of course. So it will uncover, of course, hidden efficiency potential. In reference to solution for Open BIM for products, we will enable data access and outline how data can be delivered based on standards. Next slide, please. So it's time to discuss opportunities and industry needs. So let's start with the process map and information lifecycle management. And of course, we have more than a few let's say more than a few points, for opportunities and industry need. So first one is boost circular economy and sustainability by early involvement of product manufacturers and engineers. We also see the opportunity to invest resources and focus with standardization with Open BIM, considering building operations, e-commerce, and reconstruction. Furthermore, we believe that apparently it will help to cope with the further regulations across carbon emissions and resources conservation by optimization of projects and supply chains with transparent construction process. Additionally, to support manufacturers in their increased environmental obligations and labeling requirements, such as CPR, which stands for Construction Product Regulations. Also, achieve industry readiness for potentially mandatory environmental product declarations. Support for obligation, and of course, support for obtaining life cycle assessment credits for building certifications and boost efficiency and productivity through information management. Now, it's time to shift our focus on BIM for products and also highlight a few key points here as well. So the first one is, of course, to offer products in an open, standardized, and capable data formats. To challenge closed BIM products models, and this is where we have at the moment. And finally, meet planners' demand for open and universal products models and data. Next slide, please. So both projects will play a key role in connecting the dots across various initiatives within product domain roadmap, ensuring alignment with the buildingSMART International strategic roadmap. So, and of course, some key points are enhancing standards. We will help improve current standards, focusing on the most valuable use cases and processes around products. Standardizing interfaces. These activities will support the creation of standard interfaces for most valuable use cases and processes around products, and linking and extending data standards. By linking and extending data standards, these activities will contribute to more integrated ecosystems. And last but not least, so cross-domain engagement. Apparently, a horizontal lineup will be considered, meaning other domains must be actively involved and engaged in discussions and activities to ensure a holistic approach. As you know, we have more than a few different domains within buildingSMART International. Next slide, please. So let's talk about our objectives. So to create a process model that concretizes ideas and optimizes processes, we need to uncover inefficiencies, simplify concepts, enhance understanding, also delegate responsibilities, create documentation, communicate clearly, of course, make timely and appropriate decisions, and comply with relevant standards, in this case, quality management and quality management systems. To complete a technical and application proof of concept, along with all extensions of existing model definition, that enables the creation of an open, standardized, and capable data format. For products, we need to prepare proof of concept, extend data requirements for existing construction object definition, and gain global acceptance of open BIM for products. Next slide, please. So, in terms of all necessary approaches, we need 5 steps in each project. The steps for both projects are independent of one another. For process map and information lifecycle management, we need to create a list of relevant activities, record the order of the steps in writing, of course, draw a flowchart with process modeling symbols, finalize and share a process model, and analyze the overview to find opportunities for improvement. Regarding open BIM for products, we must ensure that buildingSMART adopts open BIM for products and addresses the technical aspects. A group of experts for open BIM for products have been established, and collaboration with buildingSMART data dictionary and technical expert is ongoing. Additionally, open BIM for products will be tested and verified through proof of concept involving various real-world use cases. Finally, buildingSMART will facilitate extensive internal and external communication. We would like to emphasize that this activity, apparently, is a pragmatic way to address data exchange and answer questions: what, where, when, and how. And as myself, as I represent manufacturer, I can tell you that nowadays manufacturers deliver a lot of data, and more data we deliver, more efforts we need to invest, not just to create the data, but also to maintain data, to keep or to maintain high quality. And what we realized actually that one part of a story is formal requirements and standards. Another part of a story is what is really needed. What manufacturers need to deliver, and what contractors or customers really need. And apparently, this is one of the reasons why this approach is really pragmatic, more pragmatic rather than standard approach we have. And additionally, what I would like to say, apparently, we believe that it is for sure win-win solution. And once we have clear overview, once we identify inefficiencies and we have a proper recommendations, for sure all feedback would be provided to buildingSMART International to make sure, of course, we aligned with buildingSMART International strategy. And of course, our idea behind is to enhance and to support it. Next slide, please. Now, we are ready to discuss the most interesting part, the challenges. So, Building Smart International is generally not regarded as an authority in process definition and modeling or in developing open universal product models and data. Additionally, credibility is an issue. To address this, we must leverage the networks of Building Smart International and its members to gain support across various industries. Both activities, of course, are large and complex. And of course, it is necessary to involve experienced industry and technical experts here. And finally, adequate funding is essential and critical to ensure quality, but perhaps for this moment, we should not talk too much about quality as a first step. We would like to have and to receive your feedback, to understand your perspectives, also your interests before even discussing funding part. Next slide, please. So deliverables. So let's talk about the expected. Let's talk about expected outcome here now. So for most, for process map and information lifecycle management, we have developed a digital harmonized process map that includes all necessary descriptions within a common open source tool. Additionally, we outline an ideal process and have established a practical tool for all stakeholders to utilize the process map and further engage with it, meaning that apparently the idea behind is not to start and finish the project, but to start it, initiate it, and of course, we would keep it open, for further improvements later on. And regarding open BIM for products, an expert group has been established to focus on this initiative. A proof of concept along with samples have been completed, and both internal and external communication efforts are actively underway. Next slide, please. So, in terms of project execution, to make a progress, we need to engage with right people for sure. And for this activity, we require experienced process design and modeling experts, as well as representatives from all stakeholders group, including funding actors and entire supply chain, from operators to logistics, manufacturers, planners, contractors, maintenance services, and reconstruction team. Additionally, support from GS1 is essential as well. So GS1 is a company which is basically very well known in supply chain, and we have a lot of experience in digital supply chain. Apparently, if you would like to know more about them, please visit their website and you will find very nice white papers over. So furthermore, probably lastly, we cannot achieve success without the involvement of technical experts and partnerships with software vendors in the development of open BIM for products. Apparently, this is what is really needed. Apart from that, I do not have more slides. I believe now I could hand it over to Hans Sueli, unless, of course, if there are any specific questions, I believe, so far.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, I already talked about it with Hans Sueli, but I would like to talk to the person who just also presented, but I can't see him. So anyway, so I saw the roadmap of what you want to do, the activities in the product domain. For me, what I was maybe missing, but maybe I'm wrong, is the connection to what is happening on SEN level, because now in SEN TC442, there's a working group that I think is very much doing what you also are doing. Basically, what I've understood is that digital product passports for everything that's considered under the CPR will be standardized there, because the European Commission, they mandated SEN, SENELEC, and ETSI to do those standardizations. So my question is, do you have any liaison? Is the scope overlapping or not? And things like that, basically.
Well, at this moment, I'm not sure if I could answer this question, as we would need to investigate your point. And honestly, I was not aware of those additional activities so far. Guys, Peter or Hans-Wille, probably you have some additional insights, particularly for this one?
Yeah, so I think if I get it correctly, so there's lots of activities. As I said, most of the topics are related to properties. So their solution obviously is to create a list of properties, and then you can map it, and then you're done, and you know which parameter is which. But if you want to hand over like all the information about the product, and you want to include it in your design, including geometry, it won't be enough. So there's like lots of also us in steering committee thought that IFC would be a good format. So when you manufacture windows, you just take the window, put it into IFC, and deliver it to someone who will use it in the project, and so on. But that's not enough, because that's the final specification. But you have many steps like before that. You have to generic specification. So you need generic object, generic geometry. And if I give you a list of properties and I tell you this is thickness, you have to know which parameter I'm talking about. So you have to have some schemes or drawings or documentation. What is what? So one thing is creating this content, like describing the models, and the second thing is have a data structure, how to pass it, how to handle it. And the first thing is not for us. It's like somebody will have to do it, but there's lots of like standards for other things that may be suitable for this, and we at the moment don't know which one would be the best. So maybe there will be extension to IFC that will allow us to specify like parameters or options in the product, or some conditions inside that something can be done and not. Maybe it will be related to IDS format. So that's what we need to investigate further. And yeah, we can then like make some assumptions what would be the best, or what would be actually the open BIM for products result in the end. So the thing is that maybe we will not have to do it at all. Maybe we will find out that the other formats will not be suitable at all. It's up to the discussion we wanted to have today. Yeah.
But I would very much urge and suggest that there is a liaison between that working group and your product domain, just to make sure that there's no double work, and maybe that you can influence the work. That's also a possibility.
Yeah, that's what we would like to. But there's like working group in SEN now. There's a working group 11 for BIM objects. Then there is a modeling class that's completely separate standard. Then there is Loin. Then there is IFC and IDS, and there is VDI that is used for something. So there's lots of groups everywhere doing something like similar. So we are trying to keep in check on that, and trying to find the liaison, as you say, but it's very hard because it took us some time to map this also. So we don't want to duplicate anything, and the next step for us is to talk also to buildingSMART technical team, what they think about it. If this, because the standard for the data transfer should be like open standard, right? So it fits into the buildingSMART strategy. We know that, but in the end, if it will be buildingSMART standard or not, I don't know.
For your information, I submitted. I'm going to be in the working group 12. We know each other, so we can also maybe in that way try to keep each other up to date.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for the answer.
Yeah.
Hello. I don't know if it's in the scope of the presentation, but I wonder about the database. like that. We are talking about reconstruction, recycle, dispose. The product is, still remains for 50 years, 100 years. So what is the strategy to save the data? Where to save it? Will you support it for long term, or the client will have to support this data location? I asking that because I already worked with a government system, and we have that in Brazil. We have the problem to remain the data because there is a contract. When contract ends, goodbye. You lose the data.
Yeah, I guess with the construction product regulation, this this digital product passport becomes also a legal document, and therefore the respective governments needs also to provide this infrastructure for registry. So the goal is now not to have a centralized database, but at least a registry where all these DPPs can be somehow with APIs connected. I don't know that that's still something to be solved, but it's clear as soon as something is legal, there must be also a public solution to ensure the remainance of those data over the defined period. We know that there are companies which provide already such service, like GS1 with GTIN codes, where this information is stored actually for a very, very long time. And well, that's now the part of this development to find out, is it more a service or is it more an institutional solution that's now going on with this CIRPAS 2 feasibility study, which is going on for the European Commission. But yeah, we should not keep this picture only for Europe. I think it's an international topic, and it's really important. It's a prerequisite for circularity. And yeah, we are part of this development, and we can still influence it. And of course, as a representative from Switzerland, which is not part from the EU, like many other countries of the world, we prefer actually more international approach, and not create new trade barriers in the information exchange.
Yeah, I'd like to extend to that a little bit. So at the moment, when you have a product and a technical sheet, it's how it is. It's in PDF. So manufacturer puts it on his website, right? And he sells the product. The thing is that they don't really realize, and it's also in the guidelines for manufacturers described, that when they discontinue the product and they just delete it, you can't reach it anymore. So if you use just the URL as a reference, it's not there. So what we are doing, for example, in BIM project, that we are like taking the actual files and putting it on our service, doing our own references. So if you specify through BIM Project Cloud through our tool, then you still have the connection. And then it's a file, so you can download it, print it out, and you can have it physically, basically. So in the future, my perspective is that it will be pretty same with the digital product passports. It could be a PDF in the end. You can eventually print it out. And if there is a QR code, you can scan it and get it back in the digital form. And with this concept, also more and more information are stored outside the BIM model, only by references. So this could work if you just keep track of the database, and you just don't delete anything, and you keep the URLs available. So and in relation to the standards like 23386 and 7, there should be like a unique identifier for everything, for a specification, for a product, and so on. So it's very easy to create an URL that you can access later, and it will be unique. So this is how I think will work. And then you have, of course, have to have like your own concept how you would like to manage everything. So there may be a tool, maybe you will print out everything. I don't know, but yeah, we've been already asked from another project from EU that they work with materials and waste disposals, and they really would like to find information what is the product made of in 50 years, so they will know if it's recyclable or not, if there's anything poisonous and so on. So that's basically it. Everything, everyone thinks the same about the same thing, and there's lots of technical ways how to achieve it. So yeah, if I answer it, yeah, if we answer it, yeah. Good. Thank you for your question. Okay, another one.
I think you're doing a very interesting work, and that's needed. Of course, there are other groups working, but having these technical solutions that you had in the list, I think it would be great to investigate and give manufacturers some advice how they should continue working, gather the data and produce it, and of course send it to the construction industry, because it's the relation between the two industries, the manufacturers and the construction industry, that is important. However, one thing, you had Loin, but you didn't have IDS in the list. You can't see, I don't know so much, but what I understand is that IDS should also develop further, maybe be more like Loin. So maybe that could be in the list also, but that was
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on the list, but maybe not. But it was just examples, you know. I don't expect us to know everything happening everywhere. So the point was really that we are trying to investigate the options, and we don't want to start like creating new standard for products, because we work in buildingSMART, because it could be done somewhere else. So we really don't want to duplicate it. So it was just examples. There's lots of options. Yeah,
you're probably right. I may have missed it. Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks. Anyone else?
More questions? I think it's a good possibility to exchange, but if not, we
time for Hans Welly. Yeah.
Let me go ahead. Okay. I don't do anything on this computer. Maybe you, Shen.
Let's see. We have some online questions.
No. Not even on that. Okay. So maybe then you can help me to share the slides. Of course, IDS is part of this dialogue between performance and requirements. I think that's the perfect solution. If it was not there, we would have to invent it. But I think we can. That's in a secondary question, and it's coming absolutely natural how to access external product data, because that's a problem. We import too much product information into the model. It becomes too big, and actually could do it much cleverer to store it once at one place and then have a dialogue from the model to the product information.
I have one question. Did you already think about including the standards from GS1 like the EPCIS for tracking and tracing?
With a microphone.
Okay. Hi. I just wanted to know if you already thought about including the GS1 standards, the EPCIS, for tracking and tracing the product data from the manufacturer onto the construction site. Did you already think about those data also?
To be honest, that was not so far into focus, but logistics is certainly important to track and trace where. So we have product data sheet, and then it becomes really article, which is a physical thing, which has then also a location and a location in the building. I mean, that's important to know. If I scan in the building some element, I don't want to know only that's this product. I want also to know the location. But that's actually, in my view, the easy part, and there will be experienced companies who can solve that. It's more a secondary question. So we really have now to ensure that we have a good foundation and agreement how we describe products in the digital environment.
Okay.
And then, this is done different application of these DPPs, which will gather during the life cycle additional information like location or what's the logbook of the digital building logbook is another topic. Then I want to have like a history of everything happening in the building.
But I think that what you mentioned really fits in the life cycle project, like the description. So it will appear somewhere, but I think it's just a technical solution. It's like you have to track the product, and that's the main part. And if you track it through GS1 or some.
But actually, therefore, you have to have different data models. So you have one data model for the how do you say, the properties from the manufacturers, and the other template is, or the product data template is for the tracking, for the logistic data. And therefore, there is a special standard, it's called EPCIS, with an own data model. So I guess we should also think about this and including the whole thing.
Yeah, I think the DPP is like the backbone where we can access different data sources. We'll see it later on that also environmental product declaration is a separate document, but we can add it to this backbone, and we can modularly add information. But it's important that all this information is based on standards, on a machine readable code that really it's interoperable and decentralized. We can create it decentralized, but it's still interoperable, and that's why the BSDD or data dictionaries are so crucial as a common orientation for requirements and performance through the whole life cycle. And that touches then also this information, which is more than operating and construction on site. So we might limit our topic now to from production to from cradle to gate, so to say, and then at the end of the life cycle. That's something the manufacturer knows, and then we have additional topics which are more during the use stage, which includes then additional information, and maybe we can tackle this topic step by step. Okay, if there are not any other questions, very good. That's actually the best to discuss it like that then.
Yeah. Hi, hello. I'm actually managing director of Productivity Software Group. So we are from the Netherlands, and we provide software to construction companies that actually want to build and manufacture prefab constructions like houses, apartment buildings, etc. And I was wondering regarding the scope. So these companies typically have all kind of native software products like Tekla, Revit, etc. And then they want to somehow use IFC and then go all the way from the engineering department directly to the manufacturing of these components. And we are experiencing, in fact, that that's quite difficult, right? So we miss data on the way. Is this the topic which will be covered in this scope?
There was the topic IFC for products. We thought first we could actually include all the product information in an IFC, but we found out that it's very difficult, and we need an intermediate, which could be this digital product passport, or at least structured data first, which are mapped with data dictionary, and then more dynamically access those data via API. And then you could just refer in the building model with the link, permanent link to the product data, and the IFC is really more the minimal requirements, maybe you can hard code this and really create property sets. But I guess that's a learning from the past. We cannot add more property set to IFC. We need to have other solutions which are more based on data dictionaries, and that's then the other technical stuff where I'm not very the expert, how to include such links, how to access APIs with an IFC model, but we have to solve that. And
yeah, I can extend to that. Basically, what Hans-Uli said, the trend is that you don't want to create more and more parameters in IFC standard, right? So you have it separately, and you just make references like links, like exactly with the same thing like with the products. You can do it with your data set. So I think this could be a solution for you, and obviously there has to be what I see. When you do want to send data directly to manufacturing, there has to be someone to check it. So there has to be a control layer, control person. So in IFC, you can have like the overview. Basically, you know where what belongs. You can only have like a low level of geometry, but all the references, if they work, you can always find the necessary data. And if you find them by clicking on it, or connecting API, or maybe your software that for manufacturing could connect somewhere. I don't know. That's something that you'll have to investigate. Yeah.
But will this be in the scope of the topic, or?
I'm not sure. We just showing the ways, but how you do it, there could be many ways how to handle this. So.
Okay, thanks.
I do much agree with the approach that they are taking with APIs and just referencing, but just for information, there is also an IFC for precast, MVD, or an extension, which seems to be German, from the German chapter, or German speaking. We looked into that. It looks like there's enough information to actually be usable for the manufacturer, but apparently my colleague who works in it told me that it lacks software support. It's not implemented in a lot of softwares. Something to look at maybe if you would choose for IFC, but maybe you don't choose for that.
Thank you.
Okay, then we move on. So I will have just a short insight what I will present tomorrow in depth. And my name is Hans-Uli Schmid. I'm from the Swiss Wood Association. I am also chair of an European initiative called TIMBIM, which the aim is to align the industry's strategy, where we achieved to create a data dictionary of all harmonized products in wood. So we did our job from the industry. We took the standards in wood, we extracted all the performances, and created a dictionary, which we finally included in the buildingSMART data dictionary. So that's the fundament to actually create digital product passports. If you have no industrial dictionary, you cannot start to make actually an open digital product passport. That's why I think it's important for us to approach the industry, the manufacturers, to underline the importance of starting to create data dictionaries. And we see more and more data dictionaries created directly by CEN, that there are working groups which are thinking about how we can transform the properties described in the standards into a data dictionary, so that all the industry is then really able to structure the data and name it in a machine readable way. The next slide, please. Yes, perfect. So there is certainly, as I said before, this is a backbone structure. It's actually very open to different information. We will have a minimal required information set defined by the law to bring it into the market in a legal way. But you still can add more information, as we heard, could be logistics. And the very important data set will be the environmental product declaration, because we want to improve our buildings in the ecological aspect, not only make it efficient in the use stage, but effective over the whole life cycle. And therefore, we need this data. There are standards to international ISO standards which describe how to calculate this EPD. It's not 100% exact science, but at least it gives you an impression of what you are creating of environmental impact when you build. And we know that construction is a huge percentage of resource consumption. And we are not only the construction industry, we are also a deconstruction industry. We don't like to hear that, but actually we demolish a lot of existing buildings and resources. And we have also to find out, to plan actually how we deconstruct buildings in the future and reuse materials. So that was the other topic. Aside of the construction products in wood, we made dictionaries. We saw that also EPD data, environmental product declaration data, is part of a declaration. And we solved, therefore, this problematic for the whole industry. Actually, we made another dictionary specifically for LCA data. In parallel, interestingly, there was a standard approach that was a bit not very well. At the end, we harmonized our works, but that was like the first ISO standard 22057, which describes all the properties out of the standards in a machine-readable way. So that was really the first time a standard thought about how we can bring this information. And it's a very complex topic because we have many indicators and many life cycle stages. So the data is actually a matrix. It's not only property and value. It's a matrix. And we still don't know actually how is the best way to describe and exchange this data. But at least we have now the data dictionary. So first step is always create a data dictionary. Second step, create a template. So that's the backbone where you have technical properties. You can then select what you want to declare or what you have to declare. And one part of this could be the EPD data. So you make a template. It's just a selection of properties. And then the manufacturer, in his responsibility, fills in the values of these properties, and he creates a QR code, which is a permanent link, and that's actually the product passport. So here we made for the Swiss Wood Federation, we have already a catalog of different generic products. Now we added this red box on top. That means we can finalize the description of a specific article. We can select the company. So we have a lot of small businesses, so we need a solution for small businesses. So we can first select the company of the SME. We can select the wood species with the Latin description, and we can also select the origin of the wood. We can select the quality, the strength class, the dimensions, and even the quantity per article. And if we filled out, we can click create QR code, and then we have this permanent link, which is actually describing this specific product, where you can scan and then access the data with also the environmental data at the bottom of this sheet. So this is a preview version, and it actually worked very good. It was not that complicated. The hard work is actually before you have to create all those generic articles or products with the correct descriptions and yeah. So it works. It's not a burden. It's not a problem for the small businesses if the respective association is taken care of. And actually, this will improve a lot, or even help small businesses to get more into the market. So they are visible as much as the big players, and they can fill an important gap in the whole industry. And that's also in the interest of our association to keep the small businesses alive, which are decentralized in different regions where those jobs are very needed. The second topic is then to mention our national white paper digital product passport for construction products. We saw that this topic is coming. We need to have guidance on how to approach to not get trade problems with the European Union. And we see also the advantages of it. So first, we published a white paper about the general topic of construction product data for the circular economy. So we lay out really all the history, how things are connected, that it is actually based on based on international sustainable SDGs, sustainable development goals. We broke it down in Europe. There are different initiatives, and some initiatives touch the product with the ESPR, Eco Design for Sustainable Product Regulation. And one of those products is the construction products. And we have then derived from there different legal requirements which are extended. And the blue part is then how we deliver the needed data for those requirements. And we can see from top to bottom how the data is aggregated. As I explained before, we extract from the standards which we see on top. We extract properties, we add values, and at the end we really have the digital product passport, which is going then to a registry, or we don't know yet, at the left side. And then we have a project, and then we access those data and we create the system of the building. The second white paper is then focused not on the product information in general, but specifically on the digital product passport. This is just published, and it of course contains also the aspect of Switzerland, how we can influence this process. And we know we can only influence the process if we take part in the SEN standardization, like other countries in Europe which are not part of the European Union. And here we then have a similar overview about what's about the digital product passport. And yeah, it is something which we created. We know that we don't know all the answers yet, but we try to draw a logical process, and we saw it in the presentation before from co-builder that there are now different solutions in discussion. And yeah, and that's something we would like to we asked buildingSMART International if we could create an international paper out of it, and hereby we invite everybody interested to take part in the elaboration of an international version of this document, so that we as a product domain can also deliver useful documentation for use in in combination what we heard from Petter with this specific manufacturer-orientated guidelines. So when we make use, so the question is always how we discuss. Do we discuss for solutions for today or solutions for tomorrow? And when we talk together, we have to know what about we talk, because if not, we don't understand each other. And it's like the similarity with the SpaceX engine of the space rockets. We see on the left side how it started with very complex. It worked, but it was very complex. That's maybe the same with the IFC today. If we want to use, for example, environmental topics, we have today data dictionaries which help us to improve it. And maybe in the future, we will have the same result with a much lighter solution. And maybe, well, if you look in the future, maybe AI will help us to create also not only data dictionaries, but real ontologies between different data dictionaries. So I think that's the solution at the end. We have no king which defines the data dictionaries. We have to allow different data dictionary which describes the same thing, but at least we can create connections between dictionaries and create a machine-readable ontology, which at the end is an AI solution. So this was it from my side. This is the link to the product domain, or you can contact me also directly if you're interested to participate in further international documents. And hereby I would like to hand over to, or yeah, maybe Petter or discussion.
Yeah, I just yeah, we have a question. Great. Yeah. In the meantime, yeah, this was all about connecting the dots. So giving you the overview, the big picture. What is it about? Showing you that the digital product passport is nothing super complex to create and work with, and we will go much deeper into DPPs tomorrow on the second session. So just for you to know. Yes, please.
Thank you for a very interesting presentation, although you were a little bit quick, but I know the time frame. But so yes, two questions. The first part that you showed, was it on individual level? So each beam is an individual beam in the building? Yeah, I think, yeah, the next one there. So do you create a URI for each individual? Have you come that far? Or is it for a group or a model, a specific type?
So here, it's not really the single beam. It has no location so far, but at least you could create, if I'm a sawmill in a certain region and I make a beam in a special dimension, at least I am able today to describe this product, and someone else later on, I could even burn it in the wood, and then I could scan it 10 years later, and I would know, well, okay, that's wood from Switzerland or wood from Brazil, and I could see, okay, it's sustainably sourced, or I would know, okay, this is this kind of wood. Sometimes you don't recognize the wood species. So this is this topic, and yeah, additional information would be then really to identify this specific beam. But I think that's then a later question. But yeah, I was actually impressed. We just tried it, and that's what's actually possible for our programmers to create a website where you can select final specifications based on a template, and then you can create a QR code, and it's possible.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit confusing at the moment. What is DPP related to? If it's the type of the instance, if I speak Revit language.
Yes.
And yeah, it's I mean It will be both probably. So it's really in the end about a system that reads the data and how you manage it and how you want to manage it. And if you take in consideration the design phase, that you go from generic design through many steps, I think Hans only mentioned the logbook. So you would like to probably track the changes, how different people were changing the specification, how they got into the final product. So we call it basically specification and internally in BIM project, and that's enough at the moment. But then we distinguish specification of type and of instance, and then that's how we communicate. So that's our own dictionary we created. So yeah, but here you can see you can do both. So I don't think it's I think that the DPPs that were discussed in the morning were about the more like the types, like creating the European database where you can compare products, and that's the main goal. So you can design effectively and by like eco design guidelines or whatever they call it, and you'll be able to say, okay, this is less CO2, but it's more expensive, but I will use it anyway. But tracking the instances is maybe more related to the GS topic, GS1 topic. And yeah, I think nobody knows yet exactly how it will look like, but the technology is there. It's about connecting everything. Yeah.
You can even try out the QR code. It works. It's online to pure version at the moment. So I don't lie. It's not only fictional. Yeah, so we are a bit ahead of time, but
yeah, we have time for more questions or discussions if you'd like. So you can use it. You can use us.
Let's take it as a workshop.
Yeah, because we're sorry that not other members of the steering committee could come somewhere else. Some couldn't come at all. So it's just the two of us. Yeah, yeah. And also tomorrow we have the session. Don't know when, but it's again the product domain session number 2. We will go in detail through the document of the digital product passports from Switzerland. So you'll be able to see what it actually is, and it really because it's an abstract topic for lots of people. It's like everybody's talking about, but nobody's seen it. So it's just how we like to go a little bit deeper, and it's nothing manufacturers or anyone else should worry about in the end.
It's tomorrow at 11 in the same room here. So yeah, we will be here again. If you can, then you have time to reflect and get inspired.
Okay, so I think if there is no more questions, we can leave earlier for lunch. That's should be convenient for everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for attending today, and we're looking forward to seeing you in other sessions for the summit. We're closing the live. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.